What's up, guys? Welcome to the channel. Today's episode, we've got an F production Mazda Miata race car, and we're going to be doing some fiberglass repair. So stick around and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Alright, so let's start by getting this thing up on the frame machine. We'll get the wrap pulled off of it, get this thing taken apart so we can see all the damage. Alright, so we've got this car up on the frame machine. We've got the top taken off, we've got the deck lid taken off, which is basically a fiberglass deck lid that pins on. We've got the rear finish panel taken off, the tail light taken off, and this car has a fiberglass wide body kit. Let me show you what it looks like. Alright, so this is the wide body kit, and it's basically a fiberglass skin that sits over the original quarter panel. And it took an impact here, and it's kind of all mangled, and it pushed the metal in right here, as you can tell. Now, they've cut out for tire clearance so they can run a wider tire, and then they stitch weld it back together. We're going to be pulling out that metal. That's why we have it up on the frame machine on clamps. We're going to be grabbing a hold of this metal and getting it pulled out where it needs to be, because that's what the skin here attaches to, that area there. So we've got to get that pulled out where it needs to be, then we can get this affixed back on the car, and the way it's put on there is just rivets around the perimeter. And then they take filler and kind of smooth up all the edges to make it look seamless. Now, once we get the metal pulled where it needs to be and this affixed to the car, we can start repairing this fiberglass, because I don't really want to repair the fiberglass with the quarter skin off the car, because it might take the wrong shape and it wouldn't fit back up there. So we're going to get the metal pulled, get this set up there where it needs to be, get it all kind of halfway affixed where in the shape that it needs to be, and then we'll start repairing this fiberglass. Now, this fiberglass is pretty bad, but fiberglass is pretty repairable, and from what I understand, this wide body kit is unobtainium at this point, so we kind of have to fix it. So let's get this thing pulled out, and then we can start getting this quarter panel skin put back on there. So we're going to be using this 3M aluminum tape to reinforce the back side of this wide body flare. And it's only going to be a temporary reinforcement in the respect that this is going to be holding the small pieces in place while we put it back up on the car. And then we can get one layer of fiberglass put on the outside before we pull it back off the car. And then we can pull the tape back off and put multiple layers of reinforcement on the back side of this flare. Alright, so we've got this thing clamped up here, being held in place with some vice grips and pretty much just giving it the shape that it needs. And we've got the fiberglass with the resin put over the big cracks and over the bigger areas. Then we're going to let this dry. We've got tape on the backside as a temporary reinforcement. So once this dries, we'll be able to pull this off, set it down, and then reinforce the backside with fiberglass and resin. So this is what we're going to be using to repair the backside of this wide body fiberglass flare. Now we have two choices in fiberglass. We have fiberglass matte and we have fiberglass cloth. Now the cloth is a little bit stronger than the fiberglass matte, but it doesn't build as well. So we're going to be using the matte on this one. So I'm going to set the cloth to the side. We'll take our scissors and we'll cut out sections of the size of pieces that we need and as many pieces as we need. We'll get all those cut out and test fit to where we're going to be putting them before we mix up our resin, because once you put hardener in the resin, you have a certain amount of time before it starts getting hard. So the resin mixed up, it's for every ounce of resin, it's 18 drops of this hardener. Once you get that mixed up, you'll be mixing it up in a cup like this. You'll have a acid brush. You'll take the resin, spread it on where you're going to be applying the matte, and then take your pieces that you cut out, lay one piece on, and then take the brush and then saturate that matte with the resin. You want to get all the air bubbles out, and then if you want to do another layer, you lay another layer on top and use the acid brush with more resin and then saturate that as well. Once you get everything set like you want it to, you just let it dry overnight and it's good to go. Alright, so we've got the back side of this panel reinforced with fiberglass matte and resin. We're going to let this dry, and then we can set this panel back up on the car, get it riveted all back on, and then we can start making the outside of this panel look really nice. So our initial wipe of filler on this outside of the quarter panel is going to be with this Fiberglass, and it's short strand fiberglass reinforced filler. Now basically it just has fiberglass in with the body filler that makes it stronger, and it helps with reinforcing the fiberglass. Alright, so we've got this wide body quarter panel attached to the car. We've got all the fiberglass repair work done. We've got all the filler wiped and everything sanded and ready for primer. So the next step is to get this thing all taped up and start spraying some primer on it. Alright, so we've got the primer sprayed on there. We're going to let it dry overnight. We'll come back in the morning, get this thing untaped, and sand the primer with 320. And then we can put it all back together and get it off the frame machine so the wrap guys can pick it up and get this thing wrapped.
Happiness is having a large, caring, close-knit family that lives in another state.
Alright, so that's going to be about it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and if you did, hit that like button. And if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing and clicking on the bell icon. That way you won't miss any future content. If you have any thoughts or questions, leave it in the comment section down below. And I was able to sneak the GTR back into the shop, so hopefully I can get some more work done on this thing. That way I can get some more GTR videos out for you guys. Thanks for hanging out with me, and as always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one. See ya!